narrated by Jesse Levine.
Good evening, everyone. This is your host, Jess, and as much as I love fondling the balls of Steam Minecraft, they all kind of work the same one another. Lovely place to purchase games, but now we have some real content to review, not the Steam Deck, because, you know, the Steam Deck didn't really cause any drama that I paid attention to. But no, we're looking at the Steam Deck today. I mean, the Steam Machine. I don't even know the difference between them. One of them looks like a Nintendo Switch, and one of them looks like the Cube from Microsoft. That was like the Xbox Series X, wasn't it? It was just a big block. You know, I think that's kind of a bad sign to see, like, block-type games starting to return back to consoles. So it's like, ooh. Wait, but no, it's a tinier block. It's like a tungsten cube kind of block. With that little jumble of ideas that I've just thrown in front of you, it makes it seem a little confusing. Should I actually get the Steam Machine at the current moment of time? And today we're going to answer that for you. First off, we have to look at some of the most important features, shape and color. You know, you get a little blue bar, like Steam's blue. All right, so that's a check right there. Blue is very good. As you can see, I'm blue. I wish I was a wee bit more blue here, but that's a very good amount of blue. That's a double thumbs up amount of blue right here. I'm so excited that the thing does have blue. I wish it was more blue because it's kind of just a black cube. Now, speaking of, it is indeed a cube. Yeah, Steam is a big cloud. You know, if you were to go outside and then kind of like look at the water and be like, I wonder if I heated this up if it'd make a big cloud. I'm a little disappointed that it didn't really fit like the cloud-shaped console type. Instead, it fit more of the cube-shaped console type like Microsoft did with the Xbox Series X that I mentioned earlier. And if it were rectangular, I'm going to be honest, I would not have a lot of good things to say about shapes and colors at the moment. I am sorry. We all know that's one of the most important features of consoles is their shapes and colors. Why do you get the PS5? Because it looks... Actually, no, wait, no, I'm looking at it right now. I'm looking at it. It's like it kind of looks stupid, actually, all things considered. It looks really... Like, I think... Like, it kind of looks sleek, but I'm looking at the PS5. Yeah, I'm looking at it right over there. Yeah, no, I'm just looking at it right now. I'm like, I mean, the white on black looks very nice, and when you turn on the colors, they look nice, but, I'm still just looking at it. I'm like, it's also kind of a giant rectangle, too, so I'm gonna be honest. Like, shape-wise, PS5 kind of stupid. You know what? I think it's pretty dumb, all things considered. If it were a handheld device, I'd probably get it like a 10 out of 10 for shapes and colors, but unfortunately, Though that might be something more said about now new console generations. They don't really have an idea of what kind of shapes and colors they really want to do, and that's just a little bit of a shame. I thought Valve would probably have looked at the PS5 and whatever the hell Xbox has been doing and make a really, really nice shape for their box, but I'm a little disappointed, all things considered. The shape of it just... I just don't... like... I'm like sitting back in my chair a little bit. I look at these consoles around here. I look at my 360. Ooh, I look at the Wii. Ooh, I look at the PS5. You know, you almost had it. I look at the Steam Machine. Man, you basically have the modem for the Wi-Fi in your house as the console, and I'm just... You know, it's nice that it's smaller, all things considered. That's a nice thing. Actually, I didn't even look up the dimensions. What's the dimension of it? That'll take probably a guesstimate here. I mean, do I really have to be that accurate in a review over should you actually buy this thing? Nah. All people care about is shapes and colors. We're looking at price. We're looking at, like, specs. That doesn't matter at the end of the day. It really doesn't matter. Like, I'm too busy to actually check all of that stuff. I mean, if I'm buying it, like, I'm gonna be honest. I'm just plugging and playing here, you know, like the giant SpongeBob controller here. Now that was cool. Plug-and plays. I don't think anyone here probably remembers plug-and plays, but you had funny-looking controllers, you plugged them into your TV, and then boom, you were just able to play the game. And they all looked really funky, like there's a Spider-Man one, the SpongeBob one, and the reason why I bring up the SpongeBob one is because the controller had the shape of SpongeBob's face, and then SpongeBob's nose was the joystick. Ooh, that is a cool shapes and colors. But going back to the Steam Machine, just looking at it, it's so industrial. It feels almost out of like a factory of some kind where they would like build it, but like they did it like put any funny shapes and colors on top of it. Like black. Black is a very, very sleek color. But I've already seen a bunch of black cubes in my life. I'll be honest, there's one like in the sky right now. There was one in the Michael Bay's Transformers movie. There's black cubes all over the place. Probably if I kick over a rock in the yard, there's probably going to be like a bajillion black rocks that are just going to be unearthed in front of me. It really screams to me as just efficient. Which is a good thing, you know, you don't want to really be too annoying. You don't want to have like your console look like a PS5 and then have it stick about 20 feet in the air so it touches the roof of your ceiling. That's annoying. That'd be annoying. Or whatever, the Xbox Series X, wasn't it also probably like, I mean, it was basically the size of a mini fridge, so yeah, good job there, Xbox. And then you get your handhelds, and I'm like, okay, yeah, you know, those can get some fun colors in there. Switch 2, I like the part where they inverse the colors. Really innovative. Really, really innovative. Yeah, that was so innovative. Oh yeah, Switch 2. Yeah. And if you can't tell by that sarcastic sound, I think the Switch 2 absolutely bag fumbles the design of the Switch 1, because inverting colors, we just get back to the same problem. It's just black with a little bit of color. Where's the whimsy? Where's the pizzazz? I don't care if every console has been like a giant black box. The PS1, the PS2, the PS3, the PS4, the 360, the black one, because the other one that they had, the white one that they made, was a pile of garbage. The Xbox One, which also did not have any green, by the way. But then you have something like the Switch. Oh, it's got blue and red, but like a dominant amount of blue and red, because they're on the controllers and they're attached to the thing. Yay! Woohoo! I mean, the Wii is at least white, and then you have also your, like, handheld devices, too. Actually, now I'm thinking about it. Maybe handheld devices are really just more customizable. I mean, like my Nintendo DS, you could get funny colors on the front of it. And then you could also have customized stylus, too. So there was a lot of options you could actually make with it. Maybe the question is really here, how do we get consoles to be more like handheld devices in terms of shapes and colors? Because that's my biggest complaint with the Steam Machine, is that it just doesn't invoke a really fun sense of shapes and colors. I could put the Steam Machine in the square hole. I could put the Steam Machine in the circle hole. I could put the Steam Machine in the trapezoid hole. I could probably put the Steam Machine in the triangle hole, of all things considered. And I think that really speaks to the failure that Valve really did not answer, is that when I'm looking at consoles, I'm not looking at games, the functionality of them, the price, whether or not AI has scrumped up a bunch of resources to make things annoying. Also, that whole thing with AI also affecting all the other consoles and then also making that price go up because of all the RAM shortages. And that's still not getting fixed anytime soon because, you know, the oodles and oodles of cash being thrown around in the AI sector. You know, it's really causing a lot of issues if you're trying to actually purchase certain things. Like, the benefit of the console is ease of access. But if you have some bullcrap going on like this, you don't really have as much ease of access. I mean, you could build your own PC. Yeah, you could make it nice, slick, and all that too. But I have to actually think, and I don't want to think right now. So with all of this console history and my main complaints with shapes and colors, I would think Valve has taken this pretty seriously, all things considered. It is so important to nail a first impression. And looking at the Steam Machine trailer, I just don't feel a lot of emotion towards it. Why do I want to invest in just a cube that has a blue line across it? The Switch was fun looking. Of course I got a Switch as soon as I possibly could. You know, PS5, I was like, oh, it's got black and white at least a very little bit, and the two blue lines that go across it. I guess I'll pick that up later. I have not bought an Xbox since Xbox One. Oh, PC? Oh, I could put RGB into it. You know, that one's a priority. We can add some customization there, too. So when you have the problem of big blocky consoles really just ruining the shapes and colors, the most important thing when you're buying video games, I expected more innovation on this front. I just have to look at this. Valve is a very innovative company in terms of, Steam is not a pile of dog water. And that's really the highest standard I could ask for. So when I look at just a cube, I feel like we've really just neglected the importance of not being dog water here. Is it really that hard to say that I expect more out of Valve and all of these things? I understand. AI said, generate me a black tungsten cube, and I get it. That was an efficient use of your time here. Me, myself, and I quite disagree with this design. I feel like when I want to go sit down and play video games, the first thing I look at is, man, does my computer look sexy today? And if I don't kiss it right on the mouth, then boom, it's worthless to me. And now when I look at the little cube, I'm like, why would I ever kiss the tiny little cube? I'm not like, man, that cube has a sexy, sleek design. I'm like, this is boring. This is ugly. It's not really that ugly. That's a little bit more of an exaggeration there. But you understand what I mean. I'm not excited to kiss the Steam machine on the mouth. How can I love games if I don't love the shapes and colors of the console? Which, all things considered, I can work with basic colors. Black works. A little blue line when you turn it on, that indeed works. But when you just have a basic shape like this, I can give credit to the PS5. I think you look really stupid. But you know what? You're a weird looking stupid. And you know what? 10 points to Gryffindor House for $8 Steam dollars and a 3-cent CSGO skin. But this is just so basic. I could kiss the PS5 and be like, you know what? I'm a little reluctant, but I can still try and fake it, make it feel loved and appreciated. How can I love just a cube? I'm sorry, I don't want to be like that. I feel like I've tried to be a very open person, very open to different ideas, all these possibilities with games, the game industry, but just a cube, I've already done Minecraft before. I've played so much Minecraft. I've played so much Minecraft. And yet, when I look at a Minecraft block of dirt, I see more pizzazz in the Minecraft block of dirt than I do with the Steam machine. It just has more whimsy with it. There's more colors, there's more pizzazz, but it's still a cube. When you have a cube, you need more colors, all right? Otherwise, it's just a cube. Because how can I call a cube the Steam machine if it's just black with just a singular blue line? I'm sorry, I put my hands up right here. I'm sorry, arrest me immediately. Arrest me right now. It's just lazy to me. It's lazy to me. Imagine making a dirt block in Minecraft just all one color and draw a line for the grass and call that a grass block. No one would stand for this. You know how many people who play Minecraft would pick up their pitchforks and start revolting? A lot, actually. Given the stuff with the mob vote, I imagine it'd probably still be a decent number of folks. But when people are just talking about the price and the specs here, I feel like they just really are missing the true problem here, which is that it's like looking at a textureless piece of dirt. This isn't good for like a starter PC of some kind. The price of it's too expensive. Don't let that cloud your mind. These shapes and colors are the most important thing. Presentation. When you open it out of the box, you want to shout, wow. You don't want to shout, oh, I am so glad this costed $1,000 and matched these certain specs. That's not the first thing when you think of. When you open that box, you want to be like, oh man, this isn't just a very colorless Minecraft dirt block with a line for the grass going across here. You want to open that up and say, that's the Steam machine. And when I look at it, I can't say that's the Steam machine right there. So right now, I can't recommend the Steam machine because of its lack of shapes and colors.